Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, a mixed weekend for the Tigers. You lose on Saturday to Northeastern, who was the first-place team in the CAA, but then yesterday come up with a big victory over the Huskies, knocking them out of first place, and the Tigers snapping an 8-game losing streak. And I'm sure everybody just breathed a sigh of relief to finally get that monkey off your back.
Yeah, I'm happy for our guys. I thought it was as connected as we've been all year. And, obviously, we defended and rebounded at a high level, a typical Towson level, which we haven't, we haven't done that. Hopefully we can maintain that. And I think we do that. We'll find our way into the winner's circle. Not easy to do against well-coached, good teams, but the stance, the communication, the high hands, the attention to detail was as good as it's been on Sunday. And it was probably equally poor on Saturday against a terrific team. And, kid Tyson Walker, who was either player of the year, 1A, him and Matt Lewis from JMU. And obviously he put on a clinic, but Northeastern's a tough opponent. Bill does a great job, well coached. I mean, just tied the record for wins there with Jim Calhoun, who's a Hall of Famer. So that's pretty impressive.
It is. And, back to Tyson Walker, he had 36 points on Saturday, and I think he had 14 yesterday, but it was a very quiet 14. You guys really frustrated him in the first half and kind of took control of the game. You made a defensive change that you said Pat O'Connell mentioned to you on Saturday night.
Yeah, we had, obviously when we're on the road, we get together and watch the film on home games. We usually go back and eat, clean up, watch it, and then get together for a staff Zoom and, talk about what adjustments we can potentially make. And we talked about trying to trap some ball screens. I mean, the guy's a really good player. We tried to zone pressed him a lot on Saturday, and we didn't have great success. I think the other piece, and Coach O'Connor made a great suggestion, was just how good Ja'Kai Doughton was yesterday on, like I said, maybe the best player in the league. I mean, guys like that, you just try to make them take tough shots, and because they're so good, sometimes they make tough shots. But I thought he did a good job of doing that. And, Northeastern's well prepared. They know how to get the ball into the guy's hands in different ways. So they made some adjustments to what we were doing. And like I said, we're fortunate that he missed some tough shots.
The other guy that really came on yesterday was Charles Thompson. He had a very quiet day on Saturday, but a double-double yesterday. He really helped you inside and on the offensive end.
Yeah, he's been our most consistent guy, and he responded. No surprise. He's having a really good year for us. I thought Gibson came out before he got hurt and really had that swagger, that pop to him that we know he has, and he's done an admirable job of fighting a back injury. And then, look, can you say enough about Nick Timberlake? 40 minutes, carried us offensively. Guys playing hurt. He was just really, really good. I thought he showed his leadership skills, and we know he's a tough, talented, competitive guy, and equally proud of him. I got a good sophomore class, and they did a lot of good things yesterday.
Yeah, it was a very young team out there yesterday afternoon for the Tigers.
Yeah, I just think, we're trying to, we've been going for about 4 weeks now, which is kind of what you hope to do during this year. And just trying to get, we had some practices last week, which was awesome. We're down some bodies, so I don't know what that's going to look like this week. I do know if you practice, usually you have a chance to get better. What I've learned this year, and, I make the most mistakes, Spiro, because I make the most decisions, but I've learned this year that when you don't practice, it's a little bit trickier as far as changing habits and getting a little bit better.
Well, you're going to have some time to practice this week and take on the Dragons for the first time up in Philadelphia. Always tough to take on that team, and they've been kind of up and down all year.
Well, I think they're good. Zach Spiker's done a really good job. Obviously, they've got some mainstays, and Cam Winter's a first-team all-league guy, and Butler's probably the best post guy in the league. And then the kid Zach Walton gives them that hybrid mismatch guy, and then they surround that with shooting. I think I think they've been pretty good. They had a really good non-conference, and they lost on a tough call at Charleston, fouling a 3-point shooter. The game they should have won. So I think
you know what that you know what that's like.
Unfortunately, I do. I think that the thing about them that's been hard for them, like a lot of teams, they haven't actually tested positive, but they've had a bunch of opponents test positive, so they've tried to find games, and we got great respect for Zach. He does it the right way. We've talked a lot over this off season. One thing I like about Zach, not only has he improved his team and his program, but we've also checked in a lot on Coach Mihalik and thinking about him at Hofstra, and Zach's a really good guy, and I hope they play bad over the weekend, but I got great respect for what they do.
Has there been any talk with the conference on how they're going to work with these games that have all been canceled?
Yeah, no. I mean, like we've talked about it, and there's some testing protocols, and we're trying to figure out how to get them in. And we've been able to play obviously some more league games than we had non-league. I think where the mistake I probably made was jamming in some games and short turnarounds, and then we got bit with some contact tracing and just had to pay the price with different units and the amount of guys. And heck, we went through it again yesterday. I was like, damn, we're down to 8 guys again, and it's like, don't foul, no one else get hurt, it's just, you give credit to the guys that are able to hang in there and make some plays for you. I think, our mindset, our wish, our hope is that we got to try to grind through it and try to get better, and hope for some good fortune. But a lot of credit to our guys that haven't buckled and that want to keep competing.
How about the old Yellowmo brothers? They had the quarantine, and this was the first weekend they played 5 games. What did you see from them as far as being in shape and maybe being a little rusty?
Well, I mean, look, at a great respect for those guys. They got bit on the contact trace for a 3rd time. That's 42 days they weren't able to practice. I mean, that's hard with big guys, and not just conditioning, but timing. And both guys didn't play last year. Solo is such an impressive athlete that he bounces back quickly. I thought Vic gave us a big boost yesterday, and Vic's a good player. We just need more time with him and help develop some routine and some habits. So I think those guys have shown a lot of mental toughness that some people you don't necessarily understand if you're just watching a game, and you have to think about what those guys have had to go through no fault of their own. You know what I mean? They're not responsible for contact tracing or quarantine. That's not easy. I wish I could do more to help through that, and it's just,
right.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge, Spiro.
Well, here's my challenge this week, Coach. I'm going to look it up. I think Victor may be the best free throw shooting 7-footer in the country.
Yeah, he has credit to him. He has a great gift of being able to relax, get focused, and knock down free throws. That's the one thing I always say, but those aren't free. I mean, let's get that. Let's get that straight. And he did a really good job yesterday knocking down a couple of those.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck in Philadelphia this week, and we'll talk to you next week.